Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're going to be diving into pink noise today. It's been getting a lot of attention lately, and we're here to figure out what the excitement is all about.
Yeah, it's caught my attention too, for sure. It's really interesting how this sound that's all around us in nature is now being looked at for how it might affect how we feel.
Exactly. And we're not just talking about some made-up sound here. This pink noise is something we experience all the time, probably without realizing it.
Right, like think about the sound of rain falling steadily, or the wind blowing through leaves, or waves crashing on the beach. That's all pink noise.
And even our own heartbeats, it's like the sound is a part of nature, a part of us.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a step back for a second. How's pink noise different from white noise? I tried using white noise to help me sleep once, and it just sounded like that static you get on a TV when there's no signal.
Mm,
Not very relaxing at all.
haha. Yeah, I can see that. That's because white noise has all these frequencies all jumbled up together at the same intensity. So it creates that kind of harsh, staticky sound. Pink noise, though, is different. It's smoother because the intensity goes down as the frequencies get higher.
So instead of that annoying hiss, pink noise is more like a whooshing sound.
Exactly. It's that soothing, almost hypnotic quality that's got researchers interested in how it might help us sleep better, reduce stress, and even improve how our brains work.
Okay, now we're talking. So it's not just about creating a calming atmosphere. There's actual science behind these potential benefits.
Absolutely. Studies are showing some pretty amazing results. For instance, there's research that found pink noise could increase deep sleep stages by like 25%, which means you get more restorative rest.
Whoa, that's a big difference. I'm starting to see why people are looking to pink noise for a better night's sleep.
And it's not only about falling asleep faster or sleeping for longer, it can also help block out all those little noises that might wake you up during the night.
Like a buffer against all the sounds.
Yeah, exactly. It smooths out those interruptions and helps you sleep more peacefully.
So it's like pink noise is creating a quiet space, blocking out all the noise pollution from the world, and giving our brains a chance to really relax and recharge.
I like that. A quiet space. And the benefits aren't just limited to sleep. Researchers are also looking at how pink noise might affect our brain waves and maybe even calm down our nervous systems, reducing stress and anxiety.
So we're talking about calming those racing thoughts, that feeling of being on edge that comes with stress.
Exactly. Some studies suggest that listening to pink noise can actually lower your heart rate and blood pressure. It's almost like an auditory relaxation pill.
Wow, I could use some of that right now. But seriously, that's pretty incredible. It's like pink noise is setting the stage for our brains to unwind and de-stress.
Exactly. And some research even suggests that pink noise might help us think more clearly, like improving our memory and how well we pay attention. The idea is that by reducing distractions and creating a more peaceful environment in our minds, pink noise could help us focus better and process information more efficiently.
So it's like pink noise is giving our brains a boost, helping us concentrate better and remember things more easily.
Right. It's like giving your brain the perfect acoustic space to work at its best.
We've got sleep, stress reduction, and maybe even improved brain power, all from pink noise. I can see why people are getting so excited about this.
And we haven't even touched upon its potential for helping people with conditions like tinnitus or hyperacusis. There's research that shows pink noise can even provide some relief there.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. This is all super interesting, and I'm sure our listeners are eager to learn more. But before we really get into the science and how to use pink noise in your life, let's take a minute to recap what we've talked about so far.
Sounds good. Let's go over the key points.
All right, so here's what we know about pink noise so far. It's a sound that exists all around us, from the rain and wind to the beating of our own hearts.
And unlike white noise, which has that harsh, static quality, pink noise is more balanced and smooth, which makes it much more pleasant to listen to.
And maybe most importantly, there's a growing amount of research suggesting that pink noise might not just be a pleasant sound. It might have real benefits for how we feel and function, possibly improving sleep quality, reducing stress and anxiety, and even helping our brains work better.
Yeah, we're just scratching the surface of this really interesting topic, but we're already seeing how pink noise could have a positive impact on our lives in some pretty amazing ways. Welcome back to our deep dive into pink noise.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing to me how this sound that seems so simple can have such a big impact on our brains.
I know, right? We've talked about some of the good things it might do, but I'm curious about how it all actually works.
Mhm.
Does pink noise really change how our brains function?
Well, that's the exciting part. Remember when we were talking about brain waves? Those electrical signals that show what our brain is doing? It seems like pink noise can actually affect these brain waves, maybe even nudge them into a more relaxed and focused state.
Okay, yeah, I remember. But can you remind me how those brainwaves work and what does pink noise have to do with them?
Sure. So our brains are constantly producing different types of brain waves depending on what we're doing. Like when we're alert and focused, beta waves are the dominant ones. Then, as we start to relax and get sleepy, alpha waves become more prominent. And when we're in deep sleep, that really restorative kind of sleep delta waves take over.
So where does pink noise fit into all these different brainwaves?
Well, research suggests that pink noise might actually encourage our brains to produce more of those slower brain waves, like the alpha and delta waves. It's kind of like gently guiding our brains into a more peaceful and restful state.
So it's not just about blocking out noise from the outside, it's actually about changing our brain's own rhythms too.
Exactly. And there's even some evidence suggesting that pink noise might help sync up our brain waves with our sleep cycles. So we could potentially get more consolidated, higher quality sleep. And you know those deep sleep stages we keep talking about? Those are super important for our bodies and minds. They help with memory, repairing muscles, and regulating hormones, all sorts of things.
Yeah, like hitting the reset button every night.
Exactly, and it doesn't stop there. Some studies have even shown that pink noise can help our brains work better, specifically when it comes to memory and attention.
I think I read something about that. Like how pink noise can help us clear out all the mental clutter and make it easier to focus and remember things.
That's the idea. By reducing distractions, both the ones in our minds and the noises around us, pink noise might be creating a better environment for our brains to process information.
So it's like giving our brains a little extra help to think clearly and remember things more easily.
That's a good way to put it. And let's not forget about how it might help people with conditions like tinnitus. That constant ringing or buzzing in the ears. Pink noise can actually help mask those annoying sounds, making them less noticeable.
That must be such a relief for people who deal with tinnitus. It's like pink noise is providing a blanket of sound that covers up those unwanted noises.
Right. And for people with hyperacusis, where everyday sounds seem way too loud, pink noise might even help desensitize their ears over time, making them less sensitive.
It's really incredible how one type of sound can have so many potential benefits. Everything from sleeping better and feeling less stressed to maybe even improving how our brains work. It's like a sonic Swiss Army knife.
I like that. A sonic Swiss Army knife. And remember how we talked about different kinds of pink noise? I think now's a good time to explore that a bit more.
Yeah, let's dive into that. We've been talking about pink noise in a general way, but I'm curious to learn more about the specifics. Are there really different types of pink noise?
There are. Just like there are different genres of music, there are variations within the world of pink noise.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. What are some of the different types that people might come across?
Well, there's what's called true or standard pink noise. That's the classic kind we've been talking about,
Yeah.
where the energy is spread out evenly across all the frequencies, so you get that nice balanced sound.
Got it. That's the basic pink noise we've been discussing.
hmm
What else is there?
Then you've got brown noise. Think of it like pink noise's deeper, rumblier cousin. It has even more emphasis on those lower frequencies. It's kind of like the sound of a thunderstorm far away, or a really powerful waterfall.
So if pink noise is like gentle rain, brown noise is more like a raging river.
Exactly. And some people find brown noise to be even better for relaxation, sleep, and blocking out those really low frequency sounds.
Interesting. Are there any other important types?
Yep. There's also gray noise. This one's been adjusted to account for how our ears actually perceive different frequencies. So it ends up sounding equally loud across the whole spectrum. Think of it like pink noise that's been fine-tuned for human hearing.
So gray noise is like custom-made pink noise, designed to match how we hear.
Exactly. Researchers often use gray noise in studies that are looking at how sound affects things like focus and thinking.
Wow, so there's a whole world of pink noise out there, each with its own unique characteristics. It's like a sonic buffet.
It really is. And just like with a buffet, it's all about finding what you like best and what works for you.
This is all so fascinating. We've gone from understanding the basics of pink noise to learning about how it interacts with our brain waves to now discovering all these different types. It's like we're peeling back the layers of a sonic onion.
I love that. Peeling back the layers of a sonic onion. But like with any powerful tool, there are some potential downsides or risks to think about. Should we explore those before we move on?
Definitely. I think it's important to look at any new practice from all angles. What are some things we should be aware of when it comes to pink noise?
Well, the first thing is volume. Even though pink noise is generally considered safe, listening to it too loud for a long time could potentially hurt your hearing. It's really important to keep the volume at a comfortable level, especially if you're listening for a long time or using it to help you sleep.
Makes sense. It's all about moderation. just like with anything else.
Mm.
What about individual sensitivities? I imagine people might react to pink noise in different ways.
You're absolutely right. While a lot of people find it soothing, some people might find it annoying or distracting. It's really important to pay attention to your body, and if you feel any discomfort, maybe adjust the volume or stop listening altogether.
That's a good reminder to listen to what our bodies are telling us. What about any potential interactions with other health conditions or treatments?
That's an important point, too. If you have any health issues, especially anything related to hearing or sleep, it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor before you start using pink noise. They can help you figure out if it's right for you and let you know about any possible interactions with medications or other treatments you might be using.
Good advice. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Is there anything else we should keep in mind?
One last thing to consider is the possibility of becoming dependent on pink noise. While it can be a great tool, it's important not to rely on it too much. Remember, it's just one part of a bigger picture when it comes to well-being. It's not a replacement for dealing with any underlying issues or practicing other healthy habits.
So it's about using pink noise in a smart and mindful way,
Hmm.
not as a quick fix or a way to avoid dealing with problems.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance and using it as one piece of the puzzle when it comes to taking care of yourself.
This has been such a thorough and insightful discussion. I feel like I have a much better understanding of pink noise now. Everything from the science behind it and the different types to the potential benefits and even the risks. We've really covered a lot of ground.
It's been great talking about this with you. And hopefully our listeners are feeling inspired to explore the world of pink noise and see how it might help them too.
Absolutely. And remember, this is just the start of your journey with sound. Keep experimenting and listening. You never know what other amazing things you might discover. All right, so we've covered the what and the why of pink noise pretty well. But now I'm really curious about how can our listeners actually use this information in their own lives?
Yeah, let's get practical. The first thing to do is think about what you're hoping to achieve with pink noise. Are you looking for better sleep, trying to manage stress? Maybe you want to improve your focus.
So it's all about setting a goal before you even start listening.
Exactly. Once you know what you want to use it for, you can tailor the experience. Let's say you're aiming for better sleep. One approach is to start playing pink noise, maybe 30 to 60 minutes before you go to bed. It helps create a relaxing atmosphere and signals to your body that it's time to wind down.
Oh, I see. Like setting the stage for sleep, sort of like dimming the lights and putting on comfy pajamas.
Right. You can try out different things to play it. A sound machine, a fan, an app on your phone, whatever sounds best to you and fits your bedroom.
What about the volume? Should it be loud enough to completely block out every other sound?
Not really. The goal is to create a constant background sound, not to eliminate all noise. Start with a low volume and slowly turn it up until it covers those distracting sounds, without being too loud, of course.
So it's about finding that balance, where the pink noise is noticeable but not overpowering. And what about those different types of pink noise we were talking about earlier? Does it matter which one I use for sleep?
It can make a difference. Some people find that the deeper rumbling sound of brown noise is really relaxing for sleep, while others prefer the more even sound of standard pink noise. It really depends on what you find most soothing.
This is great. But what if I want to use pink noise for something else? Like dealing with stress or improving my focus? Are there different ways to use it for those things?
For stress, you could try adding pink noise to a relaxation routine. Find a quiet spot, put on your headphones, and let the soothing sound wash over you. You can even combine it with things like deep breathing or meditation to make it even more effective.
Like creating your own little relaxation oasis.
Exactly. And if you're looking to boost your focus, try playing pink noise softly in the background while you work or study. It can really help cut down on distractions, especially in noisy environments.
I can definitely see how that would be helpful. When you're trying to concentrate in a busy coffee shop or an office with lots going on, are there any tips for choosing the right type of pink noise for focus?
Some research suggests that gray noise, with its specific way of distributing frequencies, might be particularly good for helping with mental tasks. But again, the best way to know is to experiment yourself. See which type of pink noise helps you focus the best.
This is all so helpful and practical. I'm already thinking about how I can start using pink noise in my own life.
That's great to hear. And remember, just like with any new habit, the key is to be consistent. The more you use pink noise, the more likely you are to see those potential benefits.
It's like building any healthy habit, whether it's exercise, meditation, or eating well. It's all about making it a regular part of your routine.
Exactly. And as you get used to using pink noise, you'll naturally find what works best for you, how to adjust it to fit your own needs and preferences.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive. We've learned about the science, the different types, the potential benefits, and even how to use pink noise in practical ways. I feel like I have a whole new appreciation for the power of sound.
I've really enjoyed exploring this with you, and hopefully our listeners are feeling empowered to try out pink noise for themselves and discover how it can help them.
Absolutely. And remember, dear listeners, this is just the beginning. Keep experimenting, keep listening. Who knows what other amazing things you might find out there in the world of sound. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, stay curious.